everyone. Welcome back to Graceful Living. If you're new, my name is Dina. Welcome. I am super excited to have you here, especially today, because today we are doing something a little bit different. We are going to be announcing my very first giveaway here on YouTube, and I am super excited. But what I want you to do is enjoy the video first, and we will get to that later. I have put together 3 different fall DIYs that I hope you guys will enjoy. But don't forget, stick around to the very end so you can see all about the giveaway and enter down below. All right, let's get started. I don't put a lot into it, and most of my colors are kind of neutral, and obviously there's some black and green and probably gold involved. If you've been around for very long, you know that those are my 3 main colors, and so those are going to end up in my fall decor too. So this first one is actually black and white because it's a chalkboard. Now, I absolutely love using chalk on a chalkboard. I know that there are chalk pens out and there are Cricuts out, which I think they're amazing, but I also love to draw fonts, and so that's where we are starting here. It is a maple leaf on a chalkboard, and I thought I would throw that in here. It might give you an idea of something that you can do. It's very inexpensive, but it's kind of a big bang for absolutely no bucks. If you have a chalkboard at home and a piece of chalk, then it's not going to cost you anything but a little bit of time. All right, let's get started with that. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of made what I would call like a home base from a baseball game shape here on my chalkboard. And then what I'm going to do is just take and start making what I would consider the veins of my leaf. Once I get those down, I do go ahead, as you see me now, make kind of little upside down U's at each one of those veins, and that is where we will begin to connect our leaf together. This is when you'll see it kind of take shape and become an actual maple leaf instead of a home base. This next step is just kind of a blending process, and this is probably why I really enjoy using chalk over chalk pens, because I just feel like you can add another dimension and texture to a chalkboard using plain old chalk. So you will also see me go over the outline quite often just to make it more prominent, and then here I'm going to add to my veins and kind of the smaller branch there at the end, and always add a little bit of thickness to the bottom part of each vein in each branch. It just makes it a little bit more realistic, in my opinion. Okay, I'm trying to show you that I found the word autumn in a font that I really liked, and I was going to recreate it here on my board, but obviously you couldn't see the screen very well, so I'm just letting you know that's what I was doing there. Now, if you feel a little intimidated by creating
a font, I would say just give it some practice. And just so you know, it's so much easier to recreate them when they're big and on a chalkboard like this than if you are making a small one on a piece of paper. So give it a try. If you need to create some guidelines, go ahead, break out your ruler and put them there. They do help in the beginning, but once you get the knack of it, I'm sure you'll be a pro. So just give it a try. Don't be intimidated by it, and you'll do great. I just know it.
Okay, now on to project number 2. Project number 2 is going to be a scroll that you can create for your wall. What I do is I just find something on Pinterest that I might like, a saying or a picture, and I just try to mimic that. Again, using really simple things like the packing paper, a Sharpie, a ruler, and a pencil. That's all you're going to need for this project. So it's really simple and it's very budget friendly. So let's get started with that and we'll move on.
Okay, my first step here is I'm just trying to measure out on the roll that I want, the size that I want. I wanted the size of that lighter IKEA roll, but I wanted a darker color for my project. So that's what I was doing there. Now I've got my roll cut and I'm gonna go ahead and spread that out, find the middle, and that's when I begin my project. Now, as you can see, I have used my ruler to create some guidelines. What I'm starting with is just some simple block letters, and a ruler comes in so handy here. You can make 2 guidelines. I think these were like 3 or 4 inches apart, and just use those to create your letters. Obviously, write them in pencil first and then go ahead and go back with your Sharpie, and you'll see later on that I actually use a straight edge ruler to create those lines with my Sharpie to keep them nice and crisp. Now, once I get those center guidelines in, that's what I use to go off of to create all my other guidelines, either above or below the center there. I use that as my starting off point because it just helps me to know where I need to place things. Now, before I go on to this step here with my Sharpie, I make sure to write everything out in pencil. It just makes it so much easier to follow along and keep things spaced out, because you can obviously erase pencil markings, but you cannot erase a Sharpie. Now, as you can see, like I said before, I do use my ruler to ensure that all my lines are nice and crisp and straight. It just helps, and it eliminates some of the bleeding that you get from a Sharpie. Once I get my block letters done, you'll notice that I go back and I just add little extra touches. So I'll make small little lines underneath each straight edge. So underneath my A, underneath my T, right there on my C, and every other letter, just to add an extra added touch. Okay, once I've got that middle portion done, I went ahead and I moved above it and I wrote out the word pumpkin. Now I did write it out previously in pencil and I've just gone over it really quickly with my Sharpie, and then I do go back in every downward stroke that is in that word, I thicken. That makes it look more like calligraphy and not just your normal everyday cursive. So remember, anytime your script goes downward, that's the part that you want to thicken. Okay, we're almost done with the scroll. We've erased all of our lines, and now all I'm doing is I'm going to add some depth and color to the pumpkins by simply shading in with a regular pencil and then smearing it with my finger. It just adds a little bit of depth and obviously a different color from the rest of your scroll. All right, there it is. Now all we have to do is put our ribbon in it and hang it up. So let's get going on that part. I know I've shared an image of this ribbon before, but I wanted to share it again. I really love this stuff. It's thick and it's just a beautiful ribbon. It's a little over $2 and you can find it at Walmart. Usually it's on the very bottom shelf. Okay, to create my scroll ends and keep them intact, I use small paper clips as you saw there. So I just roll it up to where I want it and I put those paper clips at the top of that roll. That way it doesn't roll down and it stays right in place. Obviously, I'll probably have to do some adjustments once I get it up on the wall, but again, it's super easy because it's paper clips. Now, I would not suggest putting your ribbon in how I am here. Usually I don't do this, but I thought I would give it a try. Usually I stick it in after I get it all rolled up, and I think that's just the better way to do it. I try not to waste ribbon. I cannot stand wasting ribbon, so that's why I tried it that way, but it didn't work. But here is the finished product, and I'm really happy with it. I love the way it came out, and so if you try it, please let us know in the comments down below. All right, project number 2 is done. Now we'll go ahead and head on to project number 3.
Okay, our third and final project is going to be acorns that I made out of plastic Easter eggs that I I found on sale after Easter a couple years ago, and they turned out so cute. Now, like I said earlier in the video, I was a little bit leery of what they were gonna look like in the end, but I love them. My friend and I actually took a trip to IKEA here recently, and I'll just put a few little clips in the end of this video if you would like to see that. But I picked up a cloche. I think it was around $7, and I actually used a couple Dollar Tree items along with it to make such a cute little setting for fall. So I hope you really enjoy the project and maybe consider making something like it for your own home. All right, let's get started with this one and we'll move on.
The first thing I did for this project was to take all of the eggs out back to paint them either black or gold. I know, complete surprise, I am sure. So once they were dry, I brought them in, and that's when I began to use my hot glue to apply twine to the bottom half or to create the cap of the acorn. Now this is when I thought, you know what, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this project or not, and I'm not sure if it's worth all the trouble and the burning of my fingers. I don't know about you guys, but I am not patient when it comes to crafts like this, and so I always end up burning my fingertips like crazy. But these little covers are completely awesome, and they came from the dollar store. They're 3 to a pack for $1. Okay, so in the end, I ended up using just a little bit of the twine to kind of bend over and make my stem. And instead of burning the twine and all the little pieces away, I just took my scissors and quickly cut all around there, and it worked really, really good. Okay, so once I got these done, I just wasn't happy with the results. I didn't think I was really going to like them, and honestly, I stopped and had to come back to them to the next day after I thought, you could stencil these. And I thought if I did, I think I would like them more. So I tried, and I fell in love with them. They are perfect now, at least for me. I really, really like them once the stencil was put on. I picked up these little silk screen stencils at Joann's not long ago, and they ended up being perfect for this project. They wrap around the egg really well, and they're small enough that I can use just a portion of the stencil to create something on each and every egg. And here is the finished product. Now, like I said before, I did use a cloche that I purchased at IKEA, and I took a little salad plate and a candlestick from the Dollar Tree. I painted them flat black and then glued them together with Gorilla Glue to create this nice little setting. I now have it in my living room, and I absolutely love it. I think it turned out perfect.
You need to put greenery on things, according to Graceful Living. And gold makes it pop.
You're such a help.
Okay, this is probably the one time where I was super excited about the end of the video. Thank you all for sticking around. I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here. Now let's move on to the giveaway. What you need to do are 4 simple things. I want you to obviously watch the video, so you've already done that. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And then after you've done those 3 things, comment down below that you have, and I will enter you into the drawing. Now what we will do is we will go ahead and give it a week before I pick the winner. And I'll just put it in a random thing where it will pick somebody randomly, and I will announce the winner on my video next Tuesday. That way it gives everyone a chance, because I know that I do have some very faithful watchers that watch on the weekend after they're done with work all week. So I want to give them a chance to enter and to be fair. Obviously, this is a way for me to grow my channel, so if you wouldn't mind, I would love for you to share with your friends and give them a chance to win as well. Now, if I could give to each and every one of you, I promise you I would. I'm so sorry that I can't, but this is not going to be my only giveaway, so hopefully if you don't win this time, hopefully it's you next time. All right, guys, I again am so thankful for all your love and support, and I'll see you next Tuesday. All right, guys, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.